No DQ Galaxy, we are live with the NoDQ.com recap of the Memorial Day 2022 edition of Raw. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. As always, I appreciate your viewership and support. Hell in a Cell is this Sunday. We have more matches set for Hell in a Cell. That's good, I suppose. There is a super chat here from Hamp Connell. He sent in $2. He says, the product is just garbage. No other word for it. As you can tell, Hamp, not really a big fan of this week's Raw. Let's go ahead and get into it. We had Becky Lynch, big time Bex, coming to the ring for a promo, because that's how you always open Raw. With a promo, you can never have a match. You can never do something different. It always has to be a promo with the person coming to the ring and saying, welcome to Monday Night Raw, blah, blah, blah. She talked about how people have been praying for her downfall, and she just collects enemies and will continue to do so. She will regain her title at Hell in a Cell when she challenges Becky Lynch and Asuka. She showed clips or stills of Asuka winning Money in the Bank and then Becky giving her the title the next night on Raw. Of course, Becky had announced that she was pregnant. She said that she gave Asuka the greatest gift of her career, her title. She said that Asuka has become accustomed to being handed things. We then had Asuka arrive because every promo on Raw must have an interruption. Asuka arrived and she called Becky a big-time baby again, said she is ready to become champion. Bianca Belair arrived because, again, you have to have the interruptions every single week. She said she prefers to do her talking in the ring and said she'll have a lot to say when she wrestles Asuka, and she is 100% not losing her title at Hell in a Cell. And then Becky Lynch came in with a cheap shot. Asuka and Bianca both went after Becky Lynch, and Becky ended up being sent out of the ring. And then after the match, or after the promo, we had our match with Asuka versus Bianca Belair. Becky Lynch on commentary. The usual commentary. Although there was one interesting line where Becky referred to herself as a wizard. Now, of course, Chris Jericho has been calling himself a wizard. So what's up with that, if I may quote the Hurricane? By the way, just to respond to Calvin Bowman, yes, predictions for Hell in a Cell will be Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and we will probably throw in NXT predictions as well. Although, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I do not give two shits about NXT these days. I really do not care. Oofman, Thursday night is when we do the No DQ review. I just don't care about NXT these days. I really don't. And I agree with TJS. Becky's not a good heel. Every week they fight it. It's like the Steve Austin heel turn. It did not work, but they kept fighting it and trying to make it a thing. And that's what they've been doing with Becky. It just isn't working, in my opinion. So anyways, this was a good match here, but like, what's the point of it? Why are they doing this match? We had a back and forth match, and Bianca was using her power. Asuka came off the top with a flying kick. Bianca kicked out of that. Bianca went for the KOD, but Asuka escaped to the outside of the ring. And I thought for sure we were going to have somebody thrown into Becky Lynch, but they actually did not do that this time. Match continued. Asuka tried to get the Asuka lock on, but was unsuccessful. And then all of a sudden, Bianca picked up the 1-2-3 victory. After the match is when we had our shenanigans. Becky Lynch immediately got in the ring and attacked both of them. Asuka, one of the contenders for the title, loses. Now, of course, I'm not the biggest fan of the champion losing right beforehand, but that's the thing. You don't book the match in the first place. You want to have Asuka as a strong contender, and you want to keep the champion strong. So you keep them apart until the pay-per-view. Have them face other people. This was dumb. Like, why is Asuka in this match now? She just lost to the champion in a one-on-one setting. Next up, we had a 6-man tag team match. We had Ezekiel and the Mysterios against Kevin Owens and the Alpha Academy. And by the way, if I'm sounding grouchy, I'm tired, guys. Remember, we had that 4-hour, 40-minute Double or Nothing. Barely got any sleep. So I'm running on almost no sleep here. And that's not good as far as WWE getting a good review tonight. I'm not tolerating any of their generic BS that they do every single week. TJS, not a big fan either. He's really criticizing WWE in the chat room. Anyways, good guys got the early offense. Triple drop kick sending Otis to the outside of the ring. And Dominik was up on the top posing. I guess the rookie mistake, turning his back on his opponents because Chad Gable pushed him off the top and Dominik fell to the floor. And after the commercial break, bad guys continued to work over Dominik. And Owens put the sharpshooter on him. And I thought this was interesting because one of the criticisms from Double or Nothing was that people were not putting on the sharpshooter correctly. And Kevin Owens did it perfect. He did a great sharpshooter. And I wonder if that was done intentionally to make a little statement, maybe a subtle jab at AEW. I thought that was interesting. Anyways, people in the chat room are talking about Reggie. Why does anybody miss Reggie? What's the deal with that? So eventually, Ezekiel was able to tag in and good guys cleaned house. Owens ended up super kicking Gable by mistake. And then Otis got hit with a double 619. Ezekiel hit his suplex where he spins the guy and he pinned Gable. Kevin Owens was furious, throwing things around at the announce table. Not a happy man. And that match one-on-one will be Sunday, Owens versus Ezekiel. Psycho Jet Black with a $10 super chat. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated. Says, it's just another manic Monday. And I'm not going to read the rest of this. I wish it was Sunday because that's my fun day. Maybe I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I'm not going to sing any more of it at least, but yeah. Great song, though. I do like that song. Classic 80s. Moving on here, we had Cody Rhodes come into the ring for a promo, and he talked about being a fan of Seth Rollins, and one of Rollins' teachers saw a lot of potential in him, and that person, of course, the man that raised Cody, we all know, Dusty Rhodes. And Cody talked about being nervous for WrestleMania because he did not want to lose his first match back. And he actually got some what chants from the fans. Interesting. And Seth Rollins arrived through the crowd, and a fan loudly yelled out, welcome home, Seth. This was in Des Moines, Iowa, so not too far from where Seth Rollins grew up. Rollins admitted he does not like Cody. He says he hears Cody's name in his sleep. He cannot stand it any longer. And he felt that Cody left WWE because Cody wasn't good enough. And then Rollins talked about how Cody and his little friends tried to tear down what Rollins built, but they failed. And when that did not work, Cody came back and tried to become the conquering hero. But that's not going to happen on Seth Rollins's watch. So I like this little reference, indirect reference to AEW. And he said that Cody Rhodes doesn't get to take a sledgehammer to his throne, which is obviously a reference to AEW when Cody destroyed the throne with the sledgehammer at the first Double or Nothing, I believe. Rollins said he is going to end Cody at Hell in a Cell in the Hell in a Cell match, and Cody was wanting to fight right there. Rollins acted like he was going to come down, but did not do it. So Cody jumped over the barricade, went after Rollins. They fought around the fans, and then Cody ended up driving Rollins through the barricade. You had officials coming down, and we had a pull-apart brawl, which is one of those overdone angles that WWE uses to build up a pay-per-view match. I mean, I thought Rollins cut a really nice promo. The pull-apart brawl, I'm over those segments, especially when we just saw one with Charlotte and Ronda. It's very uncreative. The fans ate it up, though. I guess in that sense, good for WWE. They got the crowd to pop for that, so more power to them. And we got a Curtis Axel cameo on this show. He's doing producing work now, and he was one of the many former WWE stars trying to break things up. The crowd actually chanted "This is awesome" for that. So, I mean, it's one of those things that almost always gets a crowd pop. And I think that's why WWE relies on it so much, because the fans live always enjoy these types of segments where it's chaotic and officials can't hold these guys back and they keep breaking through. Like the live crowds, it's like it always works for WWE. So they rely on it as much as possible. Like they do the angle constantly. But yeah, I'm bored of it. I've seen like a billion pull apart brawls over the years, and if I could go the rest of my life without seeing one, that would be nice. But I think that's highly unlikely in all likelihood. Next up, we had Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop. Alexa, of course, wants you to shut up and fight her. And that's what Doudrop did. You had Nikki ASH out there still as the superhero for reasons. And we had some Money in the Bank footage shown of Alexa Bliss winning in 2018. Doudrop mostly dominated the match. However, she went for a Vader bomb and missed. And then Bliss went up to the top. Nikki got on the apron. She got kicked off, and Bliss just hit her Twisted Bliss and picked up the clean win over Doudrop. Nikki's attempted interference did not work. This is fine. I mean, Doudrop's really going nowhere at this point. I have no idea if there's going to be a tag team tournament. They said nothing. And what about Lacey Evans? Lacey Evans was advertised to be doing something in the ring on this show, like returning to action. No Lacey Evans. And this was Memorial Day too. You would think Lacey Evans would come back on Memorial Day, and there was nothing. So what's up with that? Anyways, I like that Alexa's building up some momentum, at least. Somebody is. And Alexa's picking up some wins. She got one over Sonya, one over Nikki, one over Doudrop. So they're building her up for a possible title match, which is, typically how it's done. You're supposed to have challengers pick up some wins and have them rise to the number one contendership. That's pretty much how it's been done for decades. Next segment we had was a total waste of time, like complete filler. Miz TV with special guests, the Street Profits. Miz did a cheap plug for Miz and Mrs. Season 3. Street Profits appeared, and they talked about the Hell in a Cell matches. And Miz was asked about Hell in a Cell, what he thinks. Miz started to talk, and Montez Ford did the "it doesn't matter what you think." So I guess he's using The Rock's catchphrases to get a cheap pop now. And all of a sudden, we had Dana Brooke being chased. Like, these segments are so awful. Back to the lousy 24/7 segments. Like, for a couple of weeks, I thought that they were at least different and creative. This week, it's back to the usual. She's being chased. T-Bar was there, Apollo, the catering crew. And Street Profits took them out. And then all of a sudden, Tamina pinned Dana Brooke. She kissed Tozawa, and surprise, surprise, he double-crossed her. Backslide, won the title, ran off. I do not care. This was a complete waste of time. And anybody out there that did not watch Raw, you can avoid this like the plague. Next up, we had Ali versus Ciampa. Austin Theory on commentary, and if Ali won, he would get a title match against Theory. What about Ciampa? How come he doesn't have an opportunity for the title? So anyways, Theory was talking about how Ali doesn't deserve it. Ali built up some momentum. He hit a big dive to Ciampa, threw him back in the ring, climbed to the top, and Theory knocked him off, causing a disqualification, which means Ali gets his match. But Theory beat the crap out of Ali, threw him into the ring post, got on the mic, and said that, why wait? He was ready to do the match right there on Raw, but the referee checked on Ali, and Ali did agree to let the match begin. So we had the match, and funny enough, we actually got some, I believe the first time since August, CM Punk chants on Monday Night Raw. First time since CM Punk joined AEW. I mean, he's the new world champion, but I definitely heard some CM Punk chants, and I feel like WWE very quickly muted the CM Punk chants. Like, you heard him, and then all of a sudden it was quiet. So, yeah, I think Kevin Dunn was very, very quick to silence those chants. Anyways, Ali did make a comeback despite being beat up and worn out. He went to the top, but he got crotched, and then Theory hit the A-Town down to pick up the win, did his selfies, but he was not out of the woods yet because Adam Pearce showed up and said that Vince McMahon wants there to be a fair fight between these two. Therefore, at Hell in a Cell, Theory will face Ali. Ali will be fresh as a daisy, as Gorilla Monsoon used to say, and they will have that match at the pay-per-view, which is in the hometown of Ali, and people are actually getting their hopes up, thinking Ali will win the United States title. I mean, we'll see. I will give my predictions Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Cheap plug. We'll talk about that match and give our predictions for it. Looking forward to that one. All right, there are a few super chats, so let me get to those. Hamp Connell sent in $5. Thank you, Hamp. Says, Street Profits, Austin Theory, and Ezekiel couldn't draw hungry flies to shit. And what's with Ciampa not having an entrance? Ciampa has no storyline. Like, he's just there. He's a body, literally a body on Monday Night Raw. They got no creative direction for the guy whatsoever. Put him with Edge. Get him in the Judgment Day faction. To me, that's an obvious move and a good role for him. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, does Dawkins have a future without Montez Ford? He might, but I think of the two, Montez Ford is definitely the one with the most potential. And was it just me, or was he looking a little bit more jacked up than usual? I think one of these days Montez Ford will get that major opportunity. I don't know what's going to happen with Dawkins, though. Like, I could see him getting lost in the shuffle. LaShawn Davis sent in a $1 super chat, no comment or anything, but thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. We had the Usos going up against Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura. Pretty standard, typical Riddle tag team match where Riddle was getting beat down for a while, as he does in pretty much every tag match. Shinsuke got the hot tag, went for the Kinshasa, but Jay got on the apron, and that allowed Jimmy to hit a super kick. Jay hit a big splash, but Riddle was able to save Nakamura from being pinned. Nakamura hit the Kinshasa to Jay, but Jimmy broke up the pin, and then Riddle tagged in. Riddle did the signature Orton moves, the body slams. He did the draping DDT. Went for the RKO to Jay, but got hit with a super kick. And then Jimmy used Riddle's scooter on Riddle, causing a disqualification. Another match with a DQ. The fight continued afterwards, and Riddle hit Jay with a super RKO. But yeah, looks like Riddle and Nakamura will be getting an opportunity at the tag team titles. And I had a few comments about the shirt. In case you didn't know, this shirt is available over at NoDQ.com/merch. You can pick up the Just Another Monday Night emoji t-shirt, and it has a NoDQ logo on the back. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. He says, what the hell do we get these non-title matches to get a title match? What happened to building up the champs? Regular number one contender matches. Uso shouldn't be in NTM. Not sure what he meant there at the end. That's just the way WWE does things. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. That's their formula. That's what's been working for them for all these years, and they just stick to that. Whenever you're not sure what to do, just go with what has worked over the years. Sad but true. LaShawn Davis sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, LaShawn. And thank you for the other one. Says, Raw gets an F. I would rather watch No DQ with Aaron Rift. I appreciate that very much. And if you guys are enjoying the video, please spread the word and tell a friend. Any word of mouth definitely goes a long way. Oh, Walter Cruz with a $2 super chat says NTM non-title matches. Well, thank you. You guys have to keep in mind, you have to assume I'm dumb. So if you put an abbreviation, I might not get it. And I might think it was gibberish or you misspelled or something. So you got to spell it out and make sure you don't have typos. I'm reading fast. I'm tired. I'm an idiot. So you got to make sure I know what I'm reading. Otherwise, I'm going to come off very foolish. Now, let's get back to Raw. And here's another head-scratching moment on this show. So Liv Morgan comes to the ring around 10:15. But then we cut away to Ali, who's backstage cutting a promo. He's been through hell and back. He's not going to stay down. He's going to walk out of his hometown, Chicago, as the new U.S. champion. And then he got attacked by Austin Theory, who took another selfie with the body of Ali. Then Rhea Ripley made her entrance. New music, and I actually really like the music. First listen, I was like, this is cool. I'm not sure who's responsible for this music, but it had lyrics and it had the "This is my brutality" at the beginning, but it fit with the whole Judgment Day faction. I thought it was a cool theme song. I liked it for once. See, a lot of times I'm not a big fan of the entrance themes in this current era with Death Rebel, but this was a really good one. I was pleasantly surprised with it. Anyways, we did not have the match. After this, we had Corey Graves give a message about Memorial Day, and we had the usual video package, which I'm all for doing this. I think it's very classy, but why not put it at the beginning? Or at the very least, why not show the package and then bring out Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley? Why do you bring out Liv Morgan and then she's standing in the ring for 15 to 20 minutes before they actually have a match? Am I the only one that thinks that's completely ridiculous that they do that? And we've seen this before. Dr. Scorpio sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, that main event segment had me laughing. That was cringe. LOL. The way Omos was selling, getting speared through the table also had me laughing. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. He's jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. Thank you again for that super chat. Let's get to this match. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Pretty good match here. I thought it was a good match. And Liv went for this Hurricane Rana to the outside, but got caught, and she was driven into the barricade. And after the commercial break, Liv started to make a comeback. She came off the top to the outside with a crossbody. And then we had a repeat of last week where Liv was going for the Oblivion, but Priest, Edge did this last week, Priest grabbed Ripley's belt buckle to prevent the Oblivion from being hit. And then AJ Styles showed up, attacked Damian Priest, and Liv Morgan hit the backstabber on Rhea Ripley, rolled her up, and got the 1-2-3 victory. Afterwards, Damian Priest attacked Styles. Styles was taken out, and then Priest went towards Liv Morgan. Finn Balor ran down to make the save, and then Liv came off the top with a drop kick to Rhea Ripley. AJ hit the phenomenal forearm to Priest, and then Balor hit the coup de grace to Priest. No Edge, so he's just biding his time. We have a 6-person mixed tag team match set up for the pay-per-view. And this was solid build. This was one of the better things on the show, in my opinion. Walter Cruz with a $2 super chat says, you should have used Lacey Evans for the Memorial Day segment. Yeah, they could have changed that up, but, they like to show that video package every year. That's their thing. But you're right. They definitely could have used Lacey Evans for the Memorial Day segment, had her do a little narration or something. Yeah, no Lacey Evans whatsoever. So we had our final segment of the evening, which was a contract signing segment. Letter grade down. MVP repeating himself, how this time there's going to be no accidental wins. There will be a brutal beating. He was getting what chance because the crowd is just tired of this crap. He said that the almighty era is nothing without MVP, and it's going to come to an end once and for all. And Lashley said that he never needed MVP. He said he considered MVP a friend. MVP said he considered Lashley a brother. And Lashley said he's going to send both of them to hell. Everybody signed the contract, and you know where this goes from here. All hell breaks loose, and security runs down. The security guards get thrown over the top by Omos and Lashley. They're completely taken out. And then Cedric Alexander showed up, hit Lashley with a chop block from behind. Lashley was trying to fight back, but he got overwhelmed. MVP came in with some cheap shots, and then they set up a table, but Lashley managed to turn the table, I guess, so to speak, and he ended up spearing Omos through the table. And there was that comment earlier. Dr. Scorpio laughed about the way Omos was selling it. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just ridiculous. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, you should make a letter grade down t-shirt. I really should. I got to get some new ones up for the 4th of July holiday. Now that's the next big one coming up. And that was Raw, everybody. Flat show, in my opinion. There were a couple of things that I thought were pretty solid. The Cody Seth Rollins segment, you know, there's the pull apart brawl. I'm not a big fan of it, but the promo, in particular, Rollins' promo, I thought was really good. So that was thumbs up. And I liked Liv Morgan's match with Rhea Ripley. I like Rhea Ripley's new music. But other than that, like, there wasn't much here that I could highly recommend. I mean, you did have some good matches, but there's just not many reasons to care about what's going on during Monday Night Raw. And as far as build-up goes, they did add 2 more matches. So show was okay, but kind of flat in my opinion for a go-home show. I'm just going to give it a C. Another run-of-the-mill Raw, kind of boring, but at least they got a few more matches for the pay-per-view. Although it's funny, I feel like pretty much every match on the card is a Raw match. They have like almost nothing. Do they even have anything for SmackDown? I'm trying to think, like, what SmackDown matches do they have? I suppose they could add one this Friday, but I'm not even sure they have anything for SmackDown. Reigns is not going to be on the card. It's basically a Raw pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. That's that. So anyways, guys, I'm going to try to get a good night's sleep here. It's been a busy few days, a lot of wrestling, a lot going on with Memorial Day weekend. I hope everyone's doing well. I appreciate your continued viewership and support, as I always say. So take care. Have a great week, everyone. And we got a lot of content coming up. Predictions, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, youtube.com/AaronRiff NoDQ. Tell a friend. And remember, say yes to NoDQ.com. See you all next time.